Samkele, good morning once again, or good afternoon. Tell us about the euphoria at the stadium and also the build-up to that keynote address by Julius Malema.
Well, indeed, Alton, the FNB stadium, if one may use layman's terms, mathematics, to look around the stadium, it is about 75% full. And one will say for a party that's a decade old, they've done exceptionally well in filling up this particular FNB stadium. They have done exceptionally well in getting the members and supporters of the EFF to come out in their thousands here to the FNB stadium. Leigh-Ann Mathys, the spokesperson of the EFF, does not agree with me when I say 75% full, but as a former mathematics student, I'd say 75, if to be more lenient, 78.
And we still have a large constituency outside that are still due to come inside. They're just getting their t-shirts and water before they come in. But yes, we are here. We at FNB, as we said we would be. It's been a smooth ride, everybody getting in and out. We've had no incidents. The president is on his way and he's about to start our formal program.
What does the program look like for the rest of the day, particularly knowing that the stadium is almost full? There are some other members and supporters still trickling into the stadium. When the program starts, what can we anticipate? What are some of the fraternal messages that are going to be coming in from important guests that are coming in and to wish you well in your decade-long existence?
So they're not trickling in, Samkele, they are like lining up to get in, just by the way. The program, well, as you know, we've had the informal program from 10 o'clock with local artists, and it also gives local artists an opportunity to showcase their talent, and South Africa can see that. Obviously, the formal program, it starts. We have messages of support from different political parties, both local and international as well. We also have a huge delegation of dignitaries from the international corps that are here as well. And the main thing that everybody anticipates, obviously, is the CIC's address. And then once the formal program is over, it's party, baby. We've worked hard for 10 years, so South Africans can expect a phenomenal lineup of some of the best artists here in South Africa. It's going to be lit.
When you speak of the EFF over the past decade, you look at the relationship that has been there. In particular, in the last NPA, you were the former Treasurer General of the EFF, did not come back as CG. You had also Stengiwe Khalid, who did not come back as DSG. Godrich Gadi, who did not come back as Secretary General from the first NPA, going to the second NPA. Dalim Ofu did not come back. The transition of leadership within the party and the issue of avoiding factional battles ensuing. Julius Malema have been very vocal of late, saying, Floyd, should you want to take over, don't go and conspire. Tell me to my face and I will leave. How does that help in the transition of leadership in the party?
So I'm confused on whether you're saying or whether you are implying that there is some factional battle and that the DP and the president are sort of at odds.
No.
They're not.
No. The question is the transition of leadership to avoid factional battles and backstabbing.
Well, that has always been, and I think the first officials of the economic freedom fighters set an amazing pace to be able to do that and to be dignified. We always said as the EFF, we're not here about positions, and you can lead from any position that you would like. I didn't want to come back as the Treasurer General myself, so I also withdrew from contesting as well, the Deputy Secretary General as well. You know that the former National Chair did contest, so that also speaks volume that after he contested, he didn't emerge, and we all together, and we still work really well together. And that will carry us, because it's these foundation stages that decide how we set the culture of the EFF as we go on. So we're not going to have those experiences of the ANC, of being, having two centers of power or two areas where people are going to fight.
When you look at these thousands of people gathered here at the FNB Stadium, looking at the socio-economic challenges South Africa faces, poverty, unemployment, underdevelopment, unemployment at a rocket sky high, youth unemployment, a ticking time bomb, how do you restore hope to these thousands of people here and millions sitting at home watching the EFF here today?
Number one, we have been instilling hope since we came on the political landscape in 2013. You've seen a steady growth of the EFF since we started. I mean, I was in Maracana. We were in Maracana on the 26th. And I remember the time we had a stage that we were scared to be on because it was going to fall. And here we are today. So we say to South Africans, there is an alternative. We don't have to be tied to something that has become a brand since associated with elections because of 1994. So South Africans also need to get rid of that nostalgia as well. We need to call out the IEC for not registering people to vote, because that is another huge problem here in South Africa. But we are saying here to South Africans that if the economic freedom fighters can do this in 10 years, we have grown steadily, we have our own headquarters, we have offices in every single province, we have regional offices in our 55 regions across the country. They are all fully equipped. They have staffing members. We've never ever not paid staff members. Plus we pay them bonuses on their birthdays. So if we do that internally, and that has always been our motto, whatever we're going to do here in the party is what we're going to do there in government. So how you treat yourself is how you're going to treat others. So this is the hope that we are going to restore. And I think just by looking at what we've done since we launched our 10th anniversary program, it speaks to themselves. This is the party for the hopeless, and we will restore dignity come 2024. South Africans must go and register to vote, and they must vote for the EFF.
What is your own internal research telling you about the 2024 general elections? How is the EFF going to fare in those elections, knowing you've got to factor in the new kids in the blocks, Patriotic Alliance, you've got to factor in Herman Mashaba and his Action SA, knowing that they also ate into the ANC, the DA, and the EFF voter base in Johannesburg?
Listen, Samkele, we are in it to win it, as we always are. Whatever happens after the 2024 elections, we engage that based on the material conditions that led to that, and we'll decide what to happen. But Herman and whatever it is that they are talking about, let them talk. We've been here, we have state power. Until they can fill up stadiums across the country, we're not a regional party. We are a national party. You can go as far as Namakwa in Northern Cape, and we can do a program and we can fill it up. So you can't compare us to Mickey Mouse things. But we'll see them in 2014.
How are your deployees in government, your MMCs in Ekurhuleni, Johannesburg, Kale City, Mfuleni? How are they performing in government? Have you done an oversight over them and their performance in these municipalities since you gained government?
Well, our Deputy President oversees governance, so he has weekly meetings, they submit weekly reports, so we have a very strong oversight in that regard to avoid exactly the same thing of setting a culture. Remember, we've just started, so whatever we do now determines what's going to happen as we move forward. So we get reports as the World Council members on what DP has been doing with the MMCs and councils. So far, so good, and we will continue giving the oversight that we have and make sure that our MMCs are held accountable. As we hold our public representatives, we don't necessarily hold government positions accountable. You don't perform, you must go.
So can you please whisper to me here, what's going to happen to those 4,000 councillors currently sitting on their couches at home watching us here on TV, and Vusi Khoza, who failed with those councillors and 2 other MPs on their obligations to bring their constituencies here?
Let me whisper very quietly. War Council will decide on that.
Are they facing a possible expulsion?
No. War Council will process each case individually and will make a decision on what needs to happen. The recommendation will be made to the Central Command team, and whatever that decision is will be communicated.
What is
we're not an organization of dictatorship. We do have processes.
Okay.
We do have processes.
Okay. But last question. Does this not inculcate a culture of corruption and going into bed with unscrupulous, corrupt business people who will capture your public representatives?
How is that going to happen?
Councillors don't earn much. How can a councillor afford a taxi to ferry people from Umhlabelingana to Johannesburg?
Samkele, so you say that every single business person here in South Africa doesn't do business properly. So you are assuming that EFF only, our councillors only has the capacity to go to dodgy business people. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
how many businesses operate here in South Africa?
there must be a return on investment in whatever you invest on.
Are there?
There must be a return on investment in whatever you invest in.
But you invest because you are investing in economic freedom in our lifetime. You are investing in a party that wants to change the political landscape, including for businesses. So businesses can have access and enter the economic market competitively compared to white businesses. But it's not fair to say that all businesses in South Africa are corrupt and EFF only has the capacity to...
No, I'm not saying all businesses are corrupt. I'm not saying all businesses are corrupt.
Yeah.
I'm saying, is this not inculcating a culture which may breed corruption?
No. Because our public representatives must have the consciousness of understanding what it is they are doing to go and fundraise. And besides that, they were given 6 months to do so.
You've got a councillor in Mpumalanga right now who's wanting Nkotla of 6 million from a service provider. SABC broke that story.
Oh, did they?
Indeed.
Okay, you know we'll deal with that and we'll deal with that decisively.
Thank you very much, Leigh-Ann Mathys. All the best for today. That is the EFF spokesperson there speaking on the rally here that they're having for their 10th anniversary, Aldrin. 75% full, done very well for a party that's a decade old. No other political formation that's been 10 years old, Eldon, has attempted to do what Julius Malema, what Floyd Shivambu, what Marshall Dlamini, what Ompilo Moato, what Veronica Mentor, the national chairperson of the EFF, and the DSG, and the Central Command team, and the BCT, and the RCT, and the PCTs of the EFF have done with this stadium here. The ANC was the only other political formation to ever come to the FNB stadium and fill it up. The EFF has just fallen short of filling up this 80,000 capacity stadium here at FNB.